Okay, now we can make this video. Hello guys, Jessie here. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be turning, gosh, I should have done this before, this tank top into some lounge shorts because quarantine. So this is a tank top that I got years ago from Forever 21 because it was super trendy and I wanted to be one of the cool kids, but I've never been a cool kid. And honestly, I felt really uncomfortable in it anytime I've worn it. So it's a shirt that is designed to be layered on top of either maybe a lacy bra or worn as a swimsuit cover up or just put over a tank top. And I definitely fall more into the tank top category, but honestly, I can't be bothered to wear a shirt that requires 2 layers when I could just be wearing a shirt that is 1 layer, you know? Now that said, I absolutely adore the fabric. It's this really soft viscose with a cute little diamond pattern, and it has these little tassel details, and I think that this has the potential to become some really cute lounge shorts. So let me show you how. To get started, I first used an existing pair of lounge shorts to understand how exactly they were constructed. Then I needed a few measurements. First, my lower waist, where I wanted the waistband to sit. Then I added 5 inches to the measurement for gathering. We'll call this the final waist measurement. Then the thigh circumference. I added 7 inches here for the final thigh measurement to make it really fluttery. Next, I measured down the side to determine how long I wanted the shorts to be. Personally, I decided on 9.5 inches, and we'll call this the shorts height. And finally, I measured the crotch by hanging a measuring tape from the front waistband to the back. And if you don't want eternal wedgies, make sure to leave plenty of extra room for comfort. With these measurements in hand, I was able to make my pattern. Now, this pattern making process took a little bit of trial and error, so let me skip over the errors and just show you the version that worked. To make a pattern yourself, you'll need to take your final waist measurement. Since this is a pattern for just 1 leg, you're going to divide that measurement by 2, and then draw a horizontal line on the top of your paper the length of this measurement. And by the way, if you don't have pattern paper, feel free to just tape a couple pieces of paper together. So with your horizontal line, you're then going to find the midpoint, and draw a perpendicular line down that is equal to the length of the shorts height. Now take your final thigh measurement and draw it centered at the bottom. Next, you're going to connect the sides, and this forms the general shape of the shorts. But now we need to account for the butt. So on the left side, extend the line by 1.5 inches or so. Then connect that to the middle line. So to explain what you're looking at here, the left side is the back of the pattern, the middle line indicates the side of the shorts, and the right side is the front of the shorts. And this adds some extra coverage of the buttocks region. And personally, I kind of forgot to add this extra fabric on mine, which might make for an interesting reveal montage. Stay tuned for that! So now we just need to add some fabric to connect the crotch area. To do this, we're going to extend the lines even further. So on the right side, make it just about 0.5 inches long, and this will be the front of the crotch. Then measure this whole side and compare it to your total crotch length, and anything left should be added to the line on the back. Now stay with me here, you're going to square off the ends of these lines, making them about 1 inch long or so, and then curve it up into the main trapezoid. And voila, you have your pattern. And if you can't quite figure out what you're looking at here, let me just chop it in half for you, and suddenly it should start looking a little bit more familiar. Yes, this pattern is just glorified undies. So let's get to work. Now again, what you see me cutting out here isn't actually the final pattern. I thought that I would be daring and just go for it, which meant that I had to do lots of revisions after I started sewing it in order to figure out the pattern that I just shared with you. But anyway, to cut it out, I had to get a little bit creative because my pattern was bigger than the available fabric. So to account for this, I trimmed the pattern where it fell off of the edge of the fabric, and then pieced together some of the extra pieces to create that missing piece separately. This worked really well, and if you have to do this too, just make sure to pay attention to the direction of the print so that it blends in a little bit. Also, since this pattern doesn't take into account seam allowance, be sure to add that seam allowance when you cut, along with lots of extra fabric at the top to add a drawstring or elastic. After sewing up all the sides and connecting the crotch, I did a simple double fold hem on each leg. Now, this really is a simple project, but since I had spent a large part of my day fighting with the pattern that I had initially made incorrectly and therefore had to rework areas I'd gotten wrong the first time around, I decided to call it a day. Once again, it takes a little bit longer than I thought, but still ultimately a fairly quick creation if you have fabric that's easier to work with. Mine isn't, and I keep messing up. And I'm trying to peel off black thread off of black thread. Why am I so far down? Good morning. I'm trying to be quiet because it's Sunday and Rick is asleep in the next room. I've got water today because I had coffee yesterday and I don't want to have 2 days of coffee in a row or else I'll be a coffee drinker again. And it's very tempting. So yesterday I got the legs hemmed up and that's when I realized that something wasn't quite looking right. And I realized that I hadn't quite pulled the pattern correctly from my sample shorts. So I needed to alter the pattern a little bit. I've already made notes to make sure that it gets into the pattern that I'm sharing with you, so you already know about these things, you from the future. But it does suck because it means that I haven't left enough room for my ass cheeks. It just means that what I'm sharing today won't necessarily be the cutest shorts that could be. However, I'm hoping that if you use the pattern that I share with you, yours will turn out much better than mine. Learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to make them yourself. So all that's really left is to add the elastic and the drawstring. So let's get to it. To illustrate what happens when you forget to add extra length in the back, here's a comparison of cheekage amounts between the original shorts and mine. So to finish off the shorts, you need to choose what kind of closure you want. Do you want elastic, or a drawstring, or both? I had those cute tassels that I wanted to use as a drawstring, but I also wanted elastic to make them more comfortable and easy to wear. So I figured I could use both of them. And with that decided, I ironed a double folded hem that was big enough to hold both the string and the elastic. Then I needed to add some buttonholes to the front to let the drawstring escape. If your machine doesn't have a buttonhole foot, you could just as easily cut a hole by hand and then use a hand needle to sew a buttonhole stitch or an overcast stitch or blanket stitch if your fabric is likely to fray. Now I decided that I didn't need the drawstring to actually go all the way around, so instead I sewed the two drawstring pieces in on the sides. Then I sewed the channel down, being careful not to catch the drawstring, and left a little bit open at the back to pull the elastic through. To measure my elastic, I pulled it around my lower waist and subtracted a couple inches for a gentle hold. Then I used a large safety pin to help thread it through the channel. I sewed the ends of the elastic together, then sewed the channel closed, and with that, the shorts are done. Today we gather to celebrate the completion of the shorts. And I think they're pretty dang cute. Yes, the back is a little short, but we'll just say it's extra flirty, cheeky. And just so we're on the same page, if I see any creepy comments, they will be deleted. Guys, this was the fastest sewing project that I've done yet. That took me 2 days. It would have taken me less than that if I hadn't messed up on the freaking pattern, but now that you have the real pattern, the one that works, you could make these in probably a much faster amount of time. So I hope that this has inspired you to consider doing a thrift flip. Ugh. I hope this has inspired you to do a thrift flip of your own. I think that it's really empowering to be able to take something that you had buyer's remorse about and turn it into something beautiful. Or at least passable. Something that you might wear. So if you learned something in this video, if I made you smile, if I warmed your heart a little bit, then please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me reach more people, and of course I am so freaking appreciative. And if you're new here, hello. I'm Jessie and I make sewing tutorials and costumes and the like. So if you'd like to see more of my face on your screen, please be sure to subscribe, come stick around, join the party. And that's it from me. Go forth and live out your thrift flipping dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. That was graceful. Oh, this is cold. Hang on. Okay, let's do this. So I actually quit my coffee habit like a while ago. I only have coffee rarely, and it's on days when I need to film and I'm exhausted. I used to drink espresso every single day. And I wanted to see if my sleep would improve without it, and I think it has. I think it has a little bit, but it still just tastes so good, you know? And that's it from me. So, go out and live your thrift flipping